and it is my absolute privilege to invite one of my very good student, Anshul Chabra, who definitely has scored phenomenal bands in his IELTS program. And today I have the privilege of interviewing him right from my respective channel on YouTube, and we would like to have a full-length test. So here we proceed with the quick full-length test with Anshul Chabra. So here we are. So hello Anshul, how are you?
Hi sir, I'm good. How are you?
I'm perfectly okay, and it's been such a delight to have you right on my show. And
Thank
today
you
we
so
would
much.
like to conduct a full-length test with you.
Sure,
So are you
sure.
ready?
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. So my first question is, what's your full name?
My full name is Anshul Chabra.
And what does it mean?
So my name means perfection all around, and I know perfection is subjective, but I do believe that we can achieve excellence, and that's what I have been striving to do in my life.
What's your favorite color and why do you like it?
My favorite color is black, of course, and I think it's very catchy to the eye. It's simple and sober in its own sense, but very authentic and in a way dignified.
Absolutely.
In its respect.
And tell me, how do you usually spend your leisure time?
I generally go out for a walk, go out with my friends, or I catch a movie. Watching movies is one of the best things that I do. Like if I'm home alone and I want to do something, I'll just switch on my TV and I could, see something. And all these OTT platforms right now, they are giving so much good content to watch, something that we could, in a way, contemplate and reflect on our lives.
Absolutely. I've always found you very sagacious and very pensive. So
Thank you.
How come you are so serious and so much focused in life?
I believe I have certain goals, certain aims, and when I think I have a certain goal in my life, I would do anything to achieve it. I cannot give up anything. I would have to be, completely incapacitated to give up something in life. And I believe professionalism is something that I am indulging in my life onto, and I reflect in my nature as well.
True that. Now we would like to move on to the most important part known as cue card,
Yeah,
and you'll be given say 30 seconds to prepare the question, and you'll be required to speak on that for minimum 2 minutes time.
Sure.
So here's my cue card, and the question is, talk about any one peculiar animal that you've come across, and why do you find it so peculiar, and what is the USP of this respective animal? You've got 30 seconds.
Thank you, sir.
And you may proceed now.
Thank you. So, one of the peculiar animals that I have come across is the white Bengal tiger, and I believe it's beautiful in its own sense. It's an opposition to the Darwin's theory because it's not perfect, and its white color is because of its pigmentation, and that's why it's more beautiful in its own regard. I believe beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, and that's why it's more stunning. It's very majestic. It's a behemoth creature, and I believe to have it in our own backyard, it's a sense of pride as an Indian and also to the nation. I have come across, had the opportunity. It was a benediction to meet such a creature, such a majestic and a titanic creature on my, with my own self and with my family. I do cherish that moment a lot. It was a beatific experience to meet such an animal, such a majestic creature, as I mentioned, and then it's gigantic. It's the persona and the aura that it creates. That's what I cherish. Even though I was too little, but I do remember everything about that trip. And to come across such an animal, it was very galvanizing. The surroundings, it was a beatific experience, as I just said. And I believe it was a kind of fresh of breath here. And such an animal has held India to stand on many global platforms, global forums, and it's more than, I believe, a foreign exchange program for India. It's something that we held very close because of our culture, because of our heritage. But also to mention the same, it's very disheartening to acknowledge the plight of the wildlife that we have right now. And it's all because of our own carnal joys, our heinous acts, that the numbers of these creatures are plummeting day by day. There are stringent laws and the numbers have been accretive in the past few decades, but still I believe it's a very belligerent environment that we have created. We are very pugnacious towards wildlife and we think we can impose a certain sense of hegemony over them, but it should not be the case. I believe we must join our hands together to create a snowball effect, for sure, and create an altruistic environment for them. Create a very amicable bond, a very amicable companionship with them, abate this situation, ameliorate this situation, and create a sense of positivity and optimism all around. I believe these animals, they must be, we should live and let them live, as the old dictum says. And I know these things will take time. Rome was not built in a day. But definitely if we come together, we can have and we can safeguard them. We can create some tremendous strides towards the to beautify our nature all across. And in compendium, I would like to say it's a matter of pride that we host such an animal, and we must take hubris in this. And also, we must do our little to safeguard them, safeguard our environment, because every little makes a miracle.
Absolutely beautiful. So you stated very well. Now we have the part 3 questions, which are known as Q card, the cross
Sure.
questioning on W family. That's which when we're in house. My first question is, this was one of your favorite animals you stated.
Yes.
So what makes you so much attracted to this particular animal?
As I mentioned, it's beautiful in its own sense, brutalized in the eyes of the beholder. Many people can consider it as something that nature would oppose and would reject, but that's what the beauty is. It's survival instinct. It's as I mentioned, the persona that it creates and the effect that it has on a global standpoint. That's why I'm awestruck and mesmerized by such animals.
True that. And also, I would like to know that we have been just witnessing plummeting numbers of wildlife,
Exactly.
Animals, and conservation programs have been initiated by the world leaders. But
Right.
despite this, it's just ending up mere in a fiasco.
Yeah.
I mean to say, just like a drop in a bucket. So it's
Yes.
not sufficing the purpose. What more can be done by the world leaders to make sure they can definitely proliferate the numbers of these wildlife creatures? What do you
Right.
think of that?
As you just mentioned, there is indeed a fiasco, and I believe more than the affluent people or people who are in power coming up, we as as a society, as humans, must come up. There should be awareness camps and very stringent things that must be done to safeguard them. It's our own duty, and it's our paramount responsibility to safeguard animals among them. And I believe it's more towards everyone to do this, not just the world leaders or anybody in power to do so.
Absolutely. And we have just been witnessing a dilapidating condition of these many animals, the stray animals in particular. So what do you think can be done more? For instance, creating more shelter places for these animals. But apart from this, what else people can do cohesively to definitely improvise the condition of these animals, stray animals in particular?
So first thing that I'd like to state is we must stop thinking them as lower beings. It should be a sense of respect. We must give them the respect that's needed, and we must admire that this is their home first and then ours.
Absolutely.
Right? And rather than imposing any kind of dominance, we must consider them as fellow beings in the in this ecosystem. And as you mentioned, more than creating shelter homes and all, we must give them love.
Absolutely.
We must give them all the resources that are needed, not only monetary but also from manpower perspective. We must have more people coming up. There should be more stringent campaigns, more movements, awareness campaigns that have been in a way increasing day by day. It's the number of campaigns that the government is doing are burgeoning, but it's also our part to do the necessary.
And last but not the least, I would like to know from you is that are you personally doing anything to initiate such programs, particularly at even diminutive levels? What do you think?
So yes, of course, as I mentioned, I am all towards awareness. I am all towards spreading awareness, because I believe education is the panacea of all things in society, and so is this colossal issue that we have on hand. So I believe education, awareness, and giving all the resources that are needed, that's what my contribution right now is. And I certainly believe it will have a snowball effect, and it will create wonders in coming time.
Absolutely. So you quoted it very professionally
Thank
and
you.
very sagaciously, and this brings us to the end of the speaking round.
Thank you so
Finally,
much.
take the privilege to hand over the certification, and your band score is 8.5.
Thank you so much.
Achieved by Anshul Sharma for achieving absolutely great score and perhaps a scholarship program, as he's looking forward to study in the top University of Canada. So I wish him loads of luck. Thank you. All the very best.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.